With Pokemon's Gen 10 and Legend ZA coming soon-ish, we may see more unique Pokemon like Bloodmoon Ursaluna, so I thought I might create a couple of my own. Some one-off Pokemon that have been ravaged by the sands of time and environments. This also includes those little devils Alola free, but you'll have to wait till the end for that one. Comment below your own ideas for a unique form Pokemon. First, let's jump straight into it with Gliscor. Because we only have a single example of unique Pokemon in Blood Moon, I decided to go off a bit and break the rules, especially with this first one. This Gliscor was found in the desert resort of Unova and the surrounding areas, and has met quite the misfortune of having its wings just be completely shredded apart. Pretty tragic if you ask me, but now it's got a unique back bling. Try to reach all the Fortnite gamers with that one. I wanted a bit of a thicker, muscly boy, as now it walks on all fours, lumbering about like an ape scorpion, which is a terrifying visual there, but unlike in Kitakami, where you'd be playing a watered-down Five Nights at Freddy's for Blood Moon, our Gliscor here would probably be accessed by following clues of Pokemon that have been hunted by it. Probably ending up in one of those ancient ruins to throw down and try and squash this monstrous bug. Ground Scourge Gliscor is a unique form of Gliscor, said to be an abandoned Gliscor that, due to Unova's harsh sandstorms, tore its wings to shreds. Over time, its muscles and claws grew and became more feral, while its skin took on much of the sand, giving it a camouflaged appearance. Now it stalks the sands endlessly to satiate its constant hunger. This form of Gliscor has the ability Ground Scourge, which increases critical hit chance for physical moves when attacking grounded Pokemon. This increases further in a sandstorm. Next is Falinks, one of my favourite lads, and not the only Pokemon with this theming in the video. This Falinks found itself alone on the Isle of Armor, and instead of trying to find a new group of gamers to play Fortnite with, it became the lone hero Falinks. While not much changes about their general shape language, they become more of a weathered Spartan-like design. I thought it'd be fun to reference Mustard here, giving the Falinks their signature bushy brows that would wave in the wind. This Falinks also has had all of its sharp objects broken. I'll explain why in the Dex entry, but I think it gives such 300 energy, which, is perfect for Falinks. Oh, and of course those orange scar marks glow when they get heated up in a battle, because I love my glowing marks. The Lone Hero Falinks is a unique form of Falinks found only on the Isle of Armor, and given to a powerful trainer by Mustard. This Falinks lost the rest of its group due to a dangerous foe. Before it could meet the same fate as the others, an Urshifu came in and easily trounced the foe. Broken and scarred, it followed Urshifu back to Mustard's dojo, where it trained tirelessly till it was strong enough to fight alone against any Pokemon that would dare pick on the weak. Lone Hero Falinks has the ability One for All, giving a sharp boost to all stats if sent out directly after an ally faints in battle. Bet you never expected to see a Scovillain unique form in the video, did ya? Well, let's meet a Scovillain that seems to have grown a bit differently. Oh my. I've done a Scovillain Evo before in Scovilord, and this has a very similar premise, but turns it on its head as this Scovillain has found itself in a very sunny place. Overly sunny, in fact. And now it's grown long and tall in the overgrown Scovillain. This Alolan-style Scovillain has the same environmental aspects as that of Exeggutor from Alola. Could have done Dragon typing, but I think Grass Fire needs to stay for it. With its newfound long boy status comes something extra in that third head. Okay, I'm gonna out myself as an idiot here, but I didn't know that capsicums were only green till they ripened and turned red. I just always thought that green and reds were different kinds. I guess I never even thought about it. So I really should have made both heads red here, but oh well, variety is the spice of life. Heh. Essentially, due to the sunny weather, these Scovillans have grown incredibly hot, even spicier than the spiciest peppers. Gotta give them a only fans of how spicy they are. Okay, that was bad. Overgrown Scovillain is a unique form of the Pokemon Scovillain that was introduced to Alola early on after they evolved. The sun and environmental factors at play caused this Scovillain to grow wildly, becoming exceptionally tall, growing a third head, and having their spice go off the scales. Each head is constantly belching flames and can barely contain it, even on their fiery tail. Shed seeds from this Pokemon are so spicy that they are banned from being used in a dish. Overgrown Scovillain's ability is Super Spice. Special fire or grass type attacks all have a chance to burn opponents, and will burn Pokemon even through type or abilities to prevent it. Time for another lone wolf, and this time it's a Wishiwashi. This one's pretty simple. Instead of it being a Wishiwashi that survived a terrible fate at the hands of probably something like Dondozo eating all of them, this one decided to go out on its own and train to become stronger. And because of this, its body changed and adapted, now looking much more like their schooling form. I love the idea of this Wishiwashi being called Lone Wolf, and it's just like a super edgelord tiny Pokemon. Would absolutely make an amazing episode in the anime. Lone Wolf Wishiwashi is a unique form of the Pokemon Wishiwashi. It cared not for having to rely on its school to fight, and so it began training and gained a strength that some Pokemon could only dream of. Its fins became partially tattered, which gave it a unique look similar to that of its schooling form. Lone Wolf Wishiwashi ability is All for One, giving it a sharp boost to its stats if it is the only allied Pokemon out on the field at a given time. I love Clorf. It's a silly design and has the most cow-like cry I've ever heard. So make way for our newest unique form, Azea Royalty, damn it. My idea for this one was a Clorf that has moved into a place where other crab Pokemon reside, and due to this it has grown in size quite significantly. This quick and easy method to grow your size is brought to you by crabs. Not only that, one of their claws also got huge and even encrusted with a gem. This all sounds quite suggestive. It's a simple design change to it, but I think for a unique Pokemon, it'd be quite fun, having this haughty Clorf sending waves upon waves of Krabby and Kingler at you before having to fight the king. Well now, let's meet Sir Clorfington, the unique form for Clorf. A Clorf that found itself upon a ship travelled to the shores of Kanto, where enraged Krabby and Kingler reside. Somehow it managed to repel them and even became their leader. A large amount of food and minerals in the area caused this big change. A young Cantonian child found this Clorf species and played many games with it, and is the reason why it was dubbed Sir Clorfington. Sir Clorfington has the ability King of Crabs, maximizing the attack of any crab Pokemon it battles with, and gaining a sharp boost to attack if said crab Pokemon faints. Alright, let's now go to the Loyal Free and their, I guess, second unique design? Or maybe these are the Pokemon you'd see everywhere and Petron made them unique? I don't know, but let's just pretend they are unique and not get mad in the comments below. For all of these, I used the sign at Kitakami for reference for what they may have looked like beforehand. It actually differs a bit from their normal designs, if you can see. Munkidori here was given the big brains by Petron, and so in its normal form, which I dubbed Monkey Dopey, this ditz is mid-tripping over. Instead of having more of a tall brain, their forehead is a little protruding from all the bumps that happened to it, and to help it from, not getting so much brain damage. And instead of a kimono-like design, Monkey Dopey gets a bit of a cuter, sweeter design, almost looking like a bit of a sweater, which I only noticed now with the colors. Has a bit of the JoJo vibes, especially the heart there looking like Giorno's shirt. I kinda like it. It may have a bit of a prophetic aura to it, but it has its charms, a bit like me. Monkey Dopey, the Klutz Pokemon, a pure normal type. This Pokemon is thought to be what Munkidori initially was before it was overtaken by the toxic chains. It isn't very bright and incredibly dopey, leading to many of them perishing early on in their lives. They've even adapted soft foreheads due to how much they bump into objects. This Monkey Dopey may be the last of its kind and is considered a unique Pokemon. Monkey Dopey has the ability Dopey. When this Pokemon misses its attacks, it still does half of the attack's damage to the opponent. Okidogi is next, and this one was fun. when it asked Petron for something it wished for all the gains. So I imagine this smaller Okidogi to be a bit of a little runt or something like a generic dog-looking Pokemon, on two legs though without going too far from their original concept, and much like Munkidori, being a bit of a sad boy. Still keeping those big puppy mitts and huge floofy tail, but now it's got scrawny arms and a big lolling puppy tongue always. I gave this guy the ground type, although normal type would have worked for all three of these guys as kind of a trio. And as I write this all up, I did notice that I could have given all three of them Dopey in their names, Munkidori, Okidogi, and Fezandipiti, but well, this one is truly a scrawny Dogi instead. Scrawny Dogi, the weak Pokemon, are ground type. This Pokemon is thought to be what Okidogi initially was before it was overtaken by the toxic chain. They are weak and lazy, preferring to curl up on a lap or in the sun than do most things. If they have to walk for long periods of time, they will begin to whine incessantly. Their long tongue is always hanging out and will spray saliva all over the place, making for a not very appealing partner Pokemon. Scrawny Dogi has the ability Scrawny. This Pokemon has heightened evasion, but their attacks always do half the damage. The final one of the video is Fezandipiti, and they asked to be beautiful darling, and the description said that they were quite dull in color before the toxic chaining, so I thought it would be cool to make this a dark type here, being quite the airhead. Still all about their looks, but in a way that they just want to look different and better, but can't no matter what they do. I like in the Kitakami sign, you can see that Fezandipiti's features are a lot shorter than what they are, so our good pal Fezandipiti here has some real sad wings. I'm talking tiny flappers. And their kimono just hangs down below their arms. Come on, show some decency, man. I actually really like the rendering I did on this one, it feels good for my eyes. Shame it's on the bird that's just letting it all hang loose like that. Fezandipiti, the dull Pokemon, a pure dark type. This Pokemon is thought to be what Fezandipiti initially was before it was overtaken by the toxic chain. It is a Pokemon so absorbed with its own looks it thinks it's better than everyone else, but secretly they are ashamed of their dull, short feathers, and so goes out of its way to shame and blame every other Pokemon around it, leading it to becoming a loner, jumping from group to group as it gets pushed out again and again. Fezandipiti has the ability in the periphery. This Pokemon can't be hit by moves that target more than one Pokemon, gaining a boost to its attack stats if one of these moves try to hit. And that's all the mons I have for this video. What'd you think? Comment down below and tell me about your unique Pokemon form idea. And don't forget to do all the good deeds of liking and subscribing and sharing the video around. You all are your own unique, special little forms. I'm gonna catch you. Here I come. Right now, I'm coming to get you.
Before Anchor Arms, now I'm a jerk and everybody loves me.